Have you ever woken up after a night of sleep and wondered, did my body actually repair itself last night? Even better, did it build new muscle overnight while I rested? Asterisk. If you feel like you're doing everything right, training hard, eating enough protein, taking your omega-3 sess, yet your strength gains are sluggish, your recovery is weak, or your energy still dips, then we need to rethink what's really going on inside. Here's the key. The biggest gains from training don't happen during your workout. They happen during your recovery and especially during the overnight window when you sleep. Your muscles don't transform in the gym. They transform when you rest. And the truth is, many people are missing the root cause targets that allow muscle tissue to rebuild and grow because we're focusing on the wrong nutrients at the wrong times. Today, I want to challenge a commonly repeated myth. Just take omega-3 supplements and you're set for recovery. Sure, omega-3 fatty acids have benefits for inflammation and health broadly, but if your goal is optimizing overnight muscle repair and growth, then there are two other micronutrients nightside that play a far more direct, powerful role. In this talk, you'll learn which two vitamins, why they matter physiologically, and how to take them effectively at night so your body rebuilds stronger while you sleep. Why does this matter? Because muscle mass is not only a strength and athletic concern, it's a metabolic resilience and longevity concern. The more lean tissue you maintain, the better your insulin sensitivity, the greater your mitochondrial capacity, the better your hormonal health and metabolic flexibility. Weak muscle means slower recovery, impaired fat burning, lower energy, and a higher risk of age-related muscle loss sarcopenia. So this is about far more than aesthetics. It's about your metabolic health, your longevity, your capacity to feel strong in your 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond. Here's what's really going on inside your body right now. When you train, you create microscopic damage in your muscle fibers, and you trigger signals like IGF-1, mTOR, satellite cell activation that are primed for repair. But if you go to sleep without giving the right nutrients and hormonal environment, you hum along at a suboptimal rate. Insulin resistance, elevated cortisol, suboptimal vitamin hormone status, mitochondrial drag, all these slow the rebuild. Conversely, if you optimize the overnight environment, you train your muscles via exercise, you feed them the building blocks and cofactors, you minimize stress hormones and support deep sleep, then you unlock a growth and repair window while you're unconscious. In the next few minutes, we'll pull back the curtain on that nighttime build window. We'll walk through 6 science-backed insights. You'll come away with clear protocols, timing, dosage, food pairings, sleep hacks, and the 2 vitamins you want to prioritize at night instead of reaching automatically for that fish oil capsule. If this is helpful so far, hit the subscribe button and tap the like icon so you don't miss the rest of the series. For years, omega-3 supplements have been marketed as the ultimate nutrient for muscle recovery. They reduce inflammation, improve joint comfort, and support heart and brain health, all of which are true. But here's the real question. Do they actually help your muscles rebuild while you sleep? The answer is more complex than most people think. Let us start with what happens inside your body. When you finish a workout, you create thousands of tiny micro tears in your muscle fibers. Your body immediately sends out immune cells, cytokines, and repair proteins to heal that damage. This process relies heavily on anabolic hormones like growth hormone, testosterone, and IGF-1, and these hormones peak at night, especially during deep sleep. So if your nutritional environment before bed is not tuned for that phase, you lose one of the most powerful recovery opportunities your body has. Now, omega-3 do one thing very well. They calm inflammation. They reduce the activity of pro-inflammatory molecules like TNF-alpha and IL-6, which helps the tissue recover faster from soreness, but not necessarily for growth. Think of it this way. If inflammation is a fire, omega-3s help cool the flames, but cooling the fire is not the same as rebuilding the house. For rebuilding, your body needs specific vitamins and coenzymes that drive the construction process at the cellular level. Vitamins that directly participate in protein synthesis, energy metabolism, and hormone conversion. Here is what research shows. Studies in the past few years have found that while omega-3 supplementation can modestly improve muscle strength and reduce soreness, its effects on actual muscle protein synthesis, the building of new muscle fibers, are limited. That is because omega-3s are not direct participants in the metabolic pathways that assemble amino acids into new tissue. They are supportive, not central. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your muscle as a construction site. Omega-3 SAS are like the cooling fans that prevent overheating on the site, important, but they do not supply the bricks or direct the workers. The real construction materials come from amino acids, and the supervisors ensuring the work gets done are vitamins and cofactors like vitamin D and vitamin B6. These are what tell your body how to use the raw materials effectively while you rest. This is where many people unknowingly hit a plateau. They take omega-3 SAS religiously, eat well, and train consistently, but skip the nutrients that control mitochondrial function and nighttime hormonal repair. The result? Less efficient muscle synthesis, persistent fatigue, and slower recovery, even though the effort is there. So before you reach for another fish oil capsule, thinking it will rebuild your muscles overnight, pause and consider this. Your body's real nighttime repair machinery depends on something far more specific. 2 vitamins that work synergistically with your sleep cycle, growth hormone pulse, and mitochondrial energy production. If this is helpful so far, tap the like button and subscribe. I post new content every day to help you optimize your metabolism and rebuild your body naturally. The supplements discussed in this video are tagged with it, and you can get them from online stores. Let us talk about one of the most underestimated vitamins for muscle regeneration, vitamin D. Most people associate vitamin D with sunlight and bone strength. But what many do not realize is that vitamin D is not just a vitamin. It behaves like a hormone influencing hundreds of genes involved in metabolism, muscle synthesis, and recovery. Here is what is really happening inside your body. Vitamin D binds to specific receptors on your muscle cells, known as VDRs, vitamin D receptors. When activated, these receptors trigger genetic signals that increase the production of proteins needed for muscle contraction and repair. It also improves calcium handling inside muscle fibers, which is essential for strength and energy generation during both training and recovery. But here is where it gets fascinating. Vitamin D is also tightly connected to your sleep biology. Your body uses vitamin D to help regulate melatonin, the hormone that signals your brain it is time to sleep. Think of melatonin as the gatekeeper that allows your body to enter its deep restoration phase. Without adequate vitamin D, melatonin secretion becomes erratic, which means even if you sleep for 8 hours, your body might not be spending enough time in the deep anabolic sleep stages when growth hormone surges and muscle repair accelerates. In a study published recently in the Journal of Endocrinology and Metabolism, researchers found that individuals with low vitamin D levels had significantly lower nighttime growth hormone release and weaker muscle protein synthesis rates. Their muscles were not getting the repair message, even though they were technically resting. What the research shows is simple. If your vitamin D levels are suboptimal, your sleep-driven repair process is too. Let me give you an easy way to visualize this. Imagine your body as a factory that shuts down for maintenance every night. Vitamin D is like the supervisor who gives permission for the maintenance crew to start working. If the supervisor does not show up, the crew waits around and your body loses precious hours of repair time. Now, timing is everything. Many people take their vitamin D in the morning with breakfast, and that is fine for general health. But if your goal is overnight muscle rebuilding, there is a smarter way. Studies have found that taking vitamin D in the evening, roughly 1 to 2 hours before bed, can help synchronize melatonin release, improve sleep efficiency, and enhance next-day recovery. The mechanism is thought to involve a more stable evening calcium and magnesium balance, which promotes relaxation and better neuromuscular function overnight. Here is a simple protocol. Take vitamin D3 combined with a small amount of magnesium glycinate and vitamin K2 after dinner. The magnesium supports muscle relaxation, K2 ensures calcium moves into bone rather than soft tissue, and vitamin D sets the stage for the hormonal repair rhythm your body needs at night. Many athletes and functional medicine practitioners are now shifting their vitamin D timing for this reason, not to get more sunlight benefits, but to get better nighttime anabolic efficiency. And when your vitamin D levels are optimal, your melatonin release becomes smoother, your deep sleep becomes richer, and your muscles wake up more repaired, fuller, and stronger. This is how one vitamin, when properly timed, becomes a performance and longevity tool. It is not just about avoiding deficiency, it is about using physiology intelligently. If vitamin D is the hormonal conductor of your body's nighttime repair symphony, then the vitamin B complex is the orchestra that makes the music happen. These B vitamins are not just supportive nutrients, they are the molecular spark plugs that ignite energy production and protein synthesis at the cellular level. Without them, your muscles cannot efficiently convert amino acids into new fibers, nor can your mitochondria generate the energy needed to rebuild while you sleep. Let us look inside your body for a moment. When you fall asleep, your cells switch from daytime energy expenditure to nighttime regeneration. Your liver, muscles, and brain begin performing restorative processes, detoxification, glycogen, replenishment, and tissue repair. For these reactions to occur, your mitochondria, the power plants of your cells, need a continuous flow of coenzymes derived from B vitamins, especially vitamin B6, B12, and folate. Vitamin B6, or pyridoxine, plays a starring role here. It helps your body convert amino acids, particularly tryptophan, into serotonin, which later transforms into melatonin, the hormone that governs your sleep rhythm. So when B6 levels are optimal, your sleep cycle becomes smoother, deeper, and more anabolic. In addition, B6 acts as a cofactor in the synthesis of neurotransmitters like dopamine and GABA, which calm your nervous system and help muscles fully relax before entering the repair phase. Now, vitamin B12 steps in as the energy gatekeeper. It supports the formation of red blood cells, enhances oxygen delivery to your muscles, and activates enzymes involved in DNA repair and cell replication, all critical steps for muscle growth. Without enough B12, your recovery drags because your cells simply cannot produce energy fast enough to rebuild efficiently. Here is an important physiological insight. When you are deficient in either B6 or B12, your homocysteine levels tend to rise. Elevated homocysteine increases oxidative stress, damages muscle tissue, and impairs the nitric oxide signaling your body uses to deliver nutrients to recovering muscles. This is one reason older adults or those under chronic stress find it harder to build muscle. Their methylation pathways, which depend on these vitamins, become sluggish. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your muscles as a city undergoing nighttime construction. Vitamin D turns on the streetlights and signals the workers to begin, but vitamin B6 and B12 are the electricians and engineers who keep the power grid running. Without them, the lights flicker and the construction slows. Together, they create the metabolic current that keeps the repair machinery moving smoothly through the night. Now about timing. Taking B vitamins in the morning is common, but studies suggest that when certain forms, particularly active forms like methylcobalamin, B12, and pyridoxal 5-phosphate, B6, are taken in the evening with food, they can enhance melatonin synthesis and improve muscle recovery. The key is balance and form. Too high a dose may energize you too much before sleep, while moderate doses, around 10 to 25 milligrams of B6 and 500 to 1,000 micrograms of methyl B12, can improve the body's anabolic readiness overnight. For a simple nighttime recovery stack, pair your vitamin D3 and K2 with a balanced B complex containing methylated forms of B12 and B6 about an hour before bed, preferably after your last meal. This supports serotonin conversion, muscle relaxation, and mitochondrial energy turnover throughout your sleep cycle. And here is the takeaway. Muscle building is not only about protein or resistance training, it is about cellular intelligence. The right vitamins create the right environment for your muscles to interpret the signals you send during the day. Here is something few people realize. The biggest threat to your muscle growth does not happen in the gym. It happens in your bloodstream while you sleep. The culprit is cortisol, your body's main stress hormone. Cortisol is not the enemy. In small, well-timed amounts, it helps you wake up, focus, and respond to challenges. But when cortisol levels stay elevated at night, it flips your metabolism from rebuild to breakdown. Instead of repairing muscle tissue, your body starts cannibalizing it for energy. The result? You wake up feeling flat, inflamed, and fatigued, even if you slept for 8 hours. Here is what's really going on inside your body. Cortisol and melatonin follow an inverse rhythm. As melatonin rises at night, cortisol should drop. This hormonal balance is what allows your body to enter deep sleep and activate growth hormone, the very signal that triggers muscle protein synthesis. But chronic stress, late night caffeine, blue light exposure, and erratic blood sugar all keep cortisol unnaturally high when it should be low. And high cortisol does more than just block sleep. It increases protein breakdown and suppresses the mTOR pathway, which your body uses to build new muscle fibers. Now, here's where the vitamins we discussed, vitamin D and the B complex, start working like hormonal stabilizers. Vitamin D directly influences the HPA axis, the system that controls cortisol production. Studies have shown that individuals with adequate vitamin D levels have more stable cortisol curves, meaning lower levels at night and a healthier, sharper rise in the morning. This allows your body to enter a deeper anabolic phase after sunset. Meanwhile, vitamins B6 and B12 assist in the synthesis of neurotransmitters like serotonin and GABA, both of which calm the nervous system and lower cortisol's impact on muscle tissue. B6 in particular is vital for the conversion of tryptophan into serotonin, helping you feel relaxed before bed while setting the stage for melatonin release. When these two processes, cortisol reduction and melatonin synthesis, are properly aligned, your body flips from catabolic mode to anabolic mode. Let me illustrate this with a simple analogy. Imagine your body as a construction site again. Cortisol is like the foreman who keeps the lights on all night because of an unnecessary alarm. The workers, your muscle-building cells, never get proper rest, and the energy supply is wasted. Vitamin D and B6 act like the managers who tell the foreman to stand down so the crew can finally repair and rebuild. There's also a connection with blood sugar. When cortisol stays high at night, it raises your glucose and insulin levels, disrupting the growth hormone pulse that should peak during deep sleep. This is why many people who eat late or scroll on their phones before bed experience restless nights and wake up feeling unrefreshed. Their cortisol never fully shut off. But when you support your nervous system with calming nutrients like magnesium, B6, and vitamin D in the evening, you lower that stress response and allow insulin, growth hormone, and testosterone to work harmoniously during sleep. Here sits a simple evening protocol. Eat your last meal at least 2 to 3 hours before bed to stabilize blood sugar. Take your vitamin D3 with K2 magnesium glycinate and a methylated B complex roughly an hour before sleep. Turn off bright lights and avoid blue screens during that last hour to allow natural melatonin rise. If you want to amplify the effect, add breathing or relaxation work. Just a few minutes of slow exhalations lowers cortisol further and helps transition your metabolism into recovery mode. When you wake up after a night like that, you feel the difference. Your muscles are fuller, your body feels lighter, and your energy is steadier because your system spent a night repairing, not fighting stress. Here's something powerful to understand. Muscle recovery is not just about what nutrients you take, but when you take them inside your body, every repair process runs on a circadian rhythm. There are windows during your day when your hormones, enzymes, and mitochondria are naturally aligned for growth. The most critical of these is what we call the nighttime nutrient window, roughly the 2 hours before you fall asleep and the first few hours of deep sleep that follow. Let us walk through what happens during this window. As the sun sets, your cortisol begins to drop, your core temperature falls, and melatonin starts to rise. This hormonal shift is what triggers your pituitary gland to release growth hormone, the signal that tells your muscle cells it's time to repair. But your body can only act on that signal if it has the right cofactors in place. vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and enzymes that convert that message into actual tissue rebuilding. This is why timing matters so much. When you take your vitamin D3, B6, and B12 within that 2-hour window before sleep, you are feeding the biochemical machinery precisely when it is most active. Vitamin D helps regulate calcium and insulin sensitivity, improving nutrient delivery to muscle tissue. Vitamin B6 assists in serotonin and melatonin synthesis, deepening your sleep and extending your growth hormone pulse. And vitamin B12 enhances mitochondrial ATP production, giving your cells the energy they need for protein synthesis. Think of it like refueling a plane while it is parked at the gate, not while it is in midair. If you take these nutrients too early in the day, much of their restorative potential is wasted on daytime functions. But when you take them strategically before bed, they synchronize with your body's natural repair rhythm, amplifying every hour of your sleep. Here's a simple way to visualize it. Imagine your muscle cells as a team of builders who only work during the night shift. If you provide the right materials, vitamin D, B6, B12, magnesium, and amino acids, just before they start, they can work efficiently all night. But if the materials arrive in the morning, the builders are asleep and nothing gets done. Research supports this concept. Studies have shown that nighttime supplementation with vitamin D and B complex vitamins enhances recovery, improves next day strength performance, and boosts sleep efficiency. One paper from the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry found that individuals who took these nutrients before bed had higher overnight muscle protein synthesis rates compared to those who took them earlier in the day. So here sits a practical protocol you can follow to align with your nighttime nutrient window. 2 hours before bed, eat your last balanced meal, moderate protein, healthy fats, and low glycemic carbs like quinoa or sweet potato. This stabilizes insulin and prepares your liver for recovery. 1 hour before bed, take your vitamin D3, 2,000 to 5,000 IU with vitamin K, a methylated B complex, especially B6 and B12, and magnesium glycinate. 30 minutes before bed, dim lights, reduce screen exposure, and allow melatonin to rise naturally. During sleep, your body enters deep repair, muscle fibers are rebuilt, mitochondrial DNA is repaired, and growth hormone works at its peak. And here's the bonus. The more consistent you are with your timing, the more efficient your repair cycle becomes. Your body learns this rhythm, and within 2 to 3 weeks, you'll start to notice deeper sleep, faster recovery, and improved muscle fullness, even without changing your workouts. If this is helping you understand your body better, tap the like button and subscribe. I post content like this every day to help you optimize your metabolism and rebuild naturally. The supplements discussed in this video are tagged with it, and you can get them from online stores. Now that you understand the physiology, the hormones, the vitamins, the timing, let us turn this knowledge into a clear nightly routine. Because information is only powerful when it becomes a consistent habit that your body recognizes and responds to. Here's what's really happening inside your body each night. When you go to sleep, your system enters alternating cycles of deep sleep and REM sleep. During deep sleep, your pituitary gland releases growth hormone, which drives muscle protein synthesis, fat metabolism, and cellular repair. During REM sleep, your nervous system recalibrates, consolidating learning and reducing stress signals to maximize muscle rebuilding. You want your body to spend as much time as possible in those deep anabolic stages, and that's where your nutrient and timing protocol makes all the difference. So here sits your nighttime muscle rebuild protocol, built on the research and physiological mechanisms we have discussed. Step 1, 2 to 3 hours before bed, prepare your metabolism. Eat your final meal of the day at least 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. This meal should be moderate in protein and rich in nutrients that support recovery, for example, wild salmon, eggs, Greek yogurt, or plant-based proteins paired with magnesium-rich foods like spinach or avocado. Avoid high sugar or heavy meals late at night. They spike insulin and cortisol, both of which interfere with the growth hormone pulse that occurs shortly after you fall asleep. Step 2, 1 hour before bed. prime your recovery chemistry. This is where your supplement timing matters most. Take your vitamin D3, about 2 to 5,000 international units, together with vitamin K, 2 and magnesium glycinate to help your muscles relax and support calcium balance. Pair this with a methylated B complex that includes vitamin B6 and B12. These enhance serotonin and melatonin synthesis, helping you transition smoothly into restorative sleep. This exact window is when your body is shifting from daytime cortisol dominance to nighttime melatonin rise, so the vitamins act as biochemical signals to flip that switch. Step 3. 30 minutes before bed, set the environmental triggers. Your body's hormones are incredibly sensitive to light, temperature, and mental stimulation. Dim your lights, avoid phone or screen use, and drop your room temperature slightly. This helps signal the hypothalamus, your body's internal clock, that it's time for repair mode. If you can, use soft amber lighting or candles, which encourage melatonin release naturally. Step 4. During sleep, let physiology work for you. Once you're asleep, your body orchestrates an intricate repair symphony. Vitamin D supports growth hormone signaling and protein synthesis. Vitamin B6 and B12 feed your mitochondria, ensuring every cell has the energy to rebuild damaged fibers. Magnesium helps prevent nighttime muscle cramps and promotes deeper relaxation. The result? Faster repair, lower inflammation, improved insulin sensitivity, and a more anabolic morning metabolic profile. Step 5. Upon waking, support the recovery momentum. When you wake up, hydrate immediately and expose yourself to natural sunlight to reset your circadian rhythm. A high-protein breakfast helps stabilize cortisol and continues the muscle-building process you began overnight. Within a few days of consistency, you'll notice a tangible shift, better sleep quality, reduced soreness, and fuller muscle tone. Now let's simplify this even further into a whiteboard perspective. Vitamin D, equal sign hormonal conductor, coordinates sleep and growth hormone. Vitamin B6, equal sign neurotransmitter architect, builds serotonin and melatonin. Vitamin B12, equal sign cellular engineer, fuels ATP for muscle repair. Magnesium, equal sign muscle relaxer and stress buffer. Together, they turn your nighttime hours into your most productive recovery phase. Here is the truth most people miss. Your muscle growth, recovery, and energy are not determined by what you do in the gym. They are determined by what your body does when you are asleep. The difference between people who build lean, strong muscle and those who stay stuck in fatigue is not effort, it is physiology. It is how well you synchronize your nutrients, hormones, and sleep cycles to work with your body, not against it. Let us recap what we have uncovered. Omega-3 supplements can be useful for reducing inflammation, but they do not drive the actual rebuilding process. They are like the cooling fans that reduce the heat after exercise, not the engineers who rebuild the structure. The true drivers of nighttime repair are vitamin D and the vitamin B complex, especially B6 and B12. Vitamin D acts like a hormonal conductor. It helps your muscles respond to growth hormone and testosterone, improves calcium and insulin sensitivity, and strengthens the link between your sleep and repair cycles by enhancing melatonin balance. When taken at night with magnesium and vitamin K2, it becomes a signal that tells your body repair mode on. Then comes the vitamin B complex, the energy architects. Vitamin B6 converts tryptophan into serotonin and then melatonin, setting the rhythm for deep restorative sleep. Vitamin B12 supports DNA repair, oxygen delivery, and mitochondrial energy production, so your cells have the power to rebuild. Together, these vitamins lower cortisol, increase deep sleep, and improve muscle protein synthesis, all while you rest. When timed properly, roughly 1 to 2 hours before bed, these nutrients work in synergy with your body's natural growth hormone pulse. This is the nighttime nutrient window, the biological sweet spot when your body turns every minute of sleep into muscle repair, fat metabolism, and nervous system rejuvenation. So, if you have been training hard but waking up tired, sore, or flat, this is your missing link. You are sending the right signals through exercise, but your body is not getting the raw materials and hormonal environment to respond properly. Start by building your own nighttime muscle rebuild protocol. Consistent meal timing, proper vitamin D and B supplementation, magnesium for relaxation, and screen-free nights. Within days, you will start to notice deeper sleep, reduced soreness, and sharper morning energy. And here is my challenge to you. Try this for the next 7 nights. Be intentional with your pre-sleep nutrition, take your vitamins in the correct window, and track how your body feels in the morning. Most people notice the difference after just a few nights: clearer mind, calmer nervous system, and stronger muscle tone. Your muscles are living organs that never stop communicating with your brain, hormones, and metabolism. When you support them intelligently, not just with protein, but with timing, vitamins, and recovery, you transform your body into a machine that rebuilds itself naturally every single night. If this added value for you, like the video and subscribe to join thousands of others who are optimizing their metabolism and longevity naturally. Your strongest body is not built in the gym. It is built while you sleep.